Hi everyone, welcome to your Monday 4th of May Pilates class. I hope you're all really well and had a great weekend, whatever you did. Every week in my Italian class, which is held online by the way, my teacher Sylvia asks me what's new this week, and every week I say nothing. And it's been pretty much the same for me. This weekend I've baked brownies. You probably need to stop baking. Gone for a long run again, done more planting. My runner beans are coming on amazingly, by the way, they're like this big. And done some Pilates. Anyway, so today I've put together a really nice Pilates class for you, which is really going to help work on your shoulder opening and also work on spinal extension. I know a lot of you are working from home and are really struggling with a little bit of pain through your spines and particularly in your neck. So I've designed this class to really help open that out, strengthen the back of your spine, and that should help get rid of any aches and pains that you might be feeling at the moment. We're also going to be doing some work on our hips with some side lying. So I hope you enjoy that as well. Okay, as usual, please listen to your bodies throughout the class. If there's anything that I suggest doing that you know isn't right for you, please sit that exercise out or take the lower adaptation. I'll try my best to give you different variations through the class so you can choose the level which suits you best. If you need to rest at any point, that's absolutely fine. You can either sit down and have a rest, or you can hit pause and come back to it later when you're a little bit more refreshed. It's completely up to you, but just don't put any pressure on yourself to do every single move in the class because it can get quite tiring, especially if you're brand new to Pilates. Okay, so equipment-wise today, we're going to need our exercise mat as normal. If you don't have one of these, you can use a blanket or a towel, just something that's going to give you a little bit of padding from the floor. You're also going to need a little narrow cushion. I have here a kind of block thing and also a narrower cushion. But something off your sofa or your bed is fine as long as it's not really, really deep and fluffy. And the other thing we're going to need is our exercise band or a pair of tights if you don't have one of these. Okay, so today we're going to start in 4-point kneeling. So we're going to work into some shoulder drops to start with, just to get our shoulders moving and strengthen through our arms as well. So a lot of these exercises, again, are weight bearing, which if you're worried about osteopenia and osteoporosis, is going to be really nice to help strengthen your bones and protect the bone health. So we'll start in our 4-point kneeling position. So let's set ourselves up with our knees directly beneath our hips and our wrists directly beneath our shoulders. This is another tip. I know some of you also are struggling with wrist pain. You can either go with your palms flat on the floor, or you can create fists and rest on your knuckles, or if that's really uncomfortable for you, you can get one of your little cushions and rest your wrists on it. So it's just going to send the weight forward more into your fingers and take the weight and the pressure off this joint here. So just have a play around and see what's good for you. So 4-point kneeling. We've got lots of space between our fingers. We're trying to send the weight through the entire part of our hand rather than just resting on that wrist joint. And our legs are extended out behind us. We're going to do a few little pelvic tilts here to find our neutral spine and pelvis. So our pelvic tilt, we're just sucking our tummies in. So it's like you're bringing your tummy button up towards your spine. And you're rocking underneath, so your pelvis is rocking and you're sticking your bottom out. So it's like you're tucking your tailbone between your legs and then sticking your bottom out. So we'll just do a few more of these. Really nice to get your lumbar spine working and moving, especially if you're doing this exercise class again and it's in the morning, or if you're doing it after work and you're feeling really stiff through your spine. So we'll set ourselves up somewhere where we're neither tucking our bottom under nor sticking it out. You're nicely balanced. And from here, we're going to go into our shoulder drops. So all we're going to do is keep our arms straight and then just let our chest come down towards the floor as if your shoulder blades are hugging together, trying to come as close together as possible behind your spine. And then we're going to push away. So we're just going to breathe normally through this exercise. And you might want to start small with that movement. And as you get a little bit warmer, you might find that the movement becomes easier and you have more mobility through that. So shoulders hug together and press away. Okay, let's do that one more time like this. And then if you have the band, we're going to immediately wrap the band around our back. So this is just going to give you a little bit of feedback about how you're doing, as well as provide a little bit of resistance. So you're going to have to work those muscles harder. Oh, so this is sometimes a little bit tricky. Just try to make sure that the band is wide around your back. If it is all bunched together, it's going to be quite painful because it's going to dig in. Keep it nice and wide means you don't have that. So the band is going around the back of our ribcage, just over your shoulder blades. You're going to trap the band beneath your hands. And then do exactly the same thing. So this time, you can press up into the band and then feel how the band draws you down to the floor. Pressing up and dropping down. And just having the band there, which gives you a little bit of feedback about where you are in space, can actually be really useful for helping you get some more movement through your shoulders. Good. Few more here. Trying to keep your core muscles engaged at all times. It's really easy to forget that part and just slump down towards the mat, but we're going to keep those two muscles engaged. And one more. And release. Sit back onto your heels. Let your wrists have a bit of a rest as well as your arms. So you're going to go straight into a cat with the band this time. So we've still got the band around our spine. Coming back into 4-point kneeling, trapping the band beneath your hands, and set yourself up in that neutral spine and pelvis once again. So we're going to go straight into our cat. So breathing in to prepare here. As we breathe out, we're going to start rolling our pelvis underneath us. So we're going to tuck our tailbone between our legs, toe muscles coming up towards you, and then one bone at a time, start flexing through your spine and send your mid back up to the ceiling, pressing against that band. And then as you inhale, unravel to return back to your start position. Let's go a few more times. So again, start slowly. And as your spine warms up, you should find that you've got a little bit more movement and it's smoother. So breathing in to prepare and breathing out, rolling your pelvis underneath you. And then one bone at a time, pressing up through your spine, mid back, really going up towards the ceiling, head coming down last of all. And inhale to come back. Let's go again. Breathing out, rolling underneath you. Coming all the way up, mid back, going up towards the ceiling. Extending back. Lovely. We're going to go a couple more times here. Rolling all the way underneath you. Extending back. And our last time. Breathing out to roll, one bone at a time. Really lovely for the mobility of our spine. Inhale to come back and sit back over your heels, giving your arms a rest once again. And you can roll your wrists round from side to side to get a little bit of movement through that. Super. Okay, so if you're new to Pilates, you can stick with that basic cat exercise. Or if you would like a little bit more of a challenge, we're going to turn this into a one-armed cat. So just like before, we set ourselves up in 4-point kneeling. And then we're just going to wrap one hand around our rib cage. So now we've turned our 4-point into a 3-point. And automatically our deep core stabilizing muscle is going to switch on to support us here. So now we're going to try and do a cat just using one arm. So remember, if you want to go back into 4-point at any time, that's fine. So breathing in here, we're going to do exactly the same. Rolling your pelvis underneath you. And then really feel how those muscles switch on as you roll up into that lovely cat. And inhale to come back through to your center position. Let's go again. Breathing out to roll. You should really feel that your tummy muscles are switched on here to support you. And inhale to come back. Lovely. Let's see if we can do 2 more like this. Breathing out. And inhale. And one more time. And inhale back. Place that hand down and wrap the other hand around your ribcage now. Now, throughout this exercise, we're trying to keep our hips square to the floor as well as our shoulders. So even though it might be tempting to drop down, we're going to try and keep super strong through the arm and shoulder. So as well as working on our core strength, this is getting our shoulders and our arms working as well. And again, like I said, it's a really great one for bone density because it's a weight-bearing exercise. Breathing out, send that mid back up towards the ceiling, and inhale to come back. Lovely. Let's go again. Breathing out, one bone at a time. Inhale to return. And one last one. Really rolling up mid back, going up towards the ceiling. Inhaling to come back. Place that hand down and once again sit back onto your heels to have a little bit of a rest. And we're just going to roll our wrists round a couple more times before we go into our next cat exercise. So if you need to sit out and have a rest to give your wrists a bit of a break, that's fine. Otherwise, we're going to go into an oblique cat now. Now, this exercise is really great for opening out the sides of your waist. So if you imagine your rib cage, you've got all those bones piled on top of each other supporting our lungs. It's quite hard to get movement through there because you've got your lungs in there as well. There's a lot of bones, so you can't really move as much as you can through your lumbar spine and your neck. But this exercise is going to be really nice because it's going to get that openness through there. Don't know what happened through there. Like, confusedly playing around this weekend. Okay, so we're going to go back into our 4-point kneeling. Set our knees up underneath our hips. And then you're going to take your right hand and place it directly in front of the left. So you've got a bit of an angle going on already through your spine. Breathing in here and then out. Roll your pelvis underneath you and do exactly the same movement as cat. And you should feel that as you start to send your mid-spine up towards the ceiling, you're getting a lovely stretch and openness through here, as well as those deep core muscles working once again. Inhaling to come back to center. Let's go again. Breathing out. Roll that pelvis first of all, and bone by bone, let that flexion ripple up your spine. Head coming down last of all. Send that mid back up to the ceiling, and inhale to come back. Lovely. So if you suffer from scoliosis, this is going to be really nice as well to open out the sides of your spine and your waist. Lovely. We've got one more to go. Inhale to come back. Place that hand beneath your shoulder once again, and we'll go straight through onto the other side. So this time placing our left hand in front of our right hand. Breathing in. And then breathing out, rolling all the way up. Mid-spine going up towards the ceiling. Inhale to come back through to center. Let's go again. Breathing out, rolling all the way up. Inhale to come back. Super. Lovely. Remembering that we're timing that movement with our breath, so rolling all the way up on the exhale. Feel that lovely openness through the side of your body. And one more here, breathing out. And inhale. Hands going back through to 4-point kneeling once again. And sitting back over your heels into our rest position. Give your wrists that lovely movement round from side to side. Super. Okay, so we're going to move into some lovely rotation now. Now, rotation is really important to keep our spines healthy. And with this exercise as well, it's going to be working on our upper body strength. So we're going to go back into 4-point kneeling to do a thread the needle. Now, you can either stick with thread the needle if you're a beginner, or if you've been doing Pilates a long while, you can add in an extension of the arm towards the ceiling. But I'll talk you through it and you can choose whichever level suits you best. So we're going back into 4-point kneeling. All we're going to do is thread one hand and then post it through between our hands, opposite hands, and our opposite knee. So we breathe in to prepare. And as you breathe out, allow you to turn your right hand, place the back of your hand on the floor. And as you breathe out, start threading it through that gap, bending that supporting arm and bringing your shoulder down towards the floor. So you're rotating through your spine as you stretch your hand away from you. And then as you inhale, press through that supporting arm and slowly bring yourself back through to that neutral position. This is our basic thread the needle. So let's go on the other side now. Breathing in to prepare. Keep your core muscles engaged. As you breathe out, turn your hands, place the back of your hand on the floor and send it through that gap, bending that supporting arm, bringing your shoulder down and really reaching through with that hand. As you breathe in, press through that supporting hand and draw yourself back through to our start position. So this is your basic thread the needle. So you can build it with this. This is really great for building your strength through your upper body, your shoulders and your arms. Getting your core moving as well, rotating through your spine. So you can either stick with this or we're going to add in that extension. So this time we're sending that arm through, bending that supporting arm, pressing through with our hands, and we're going to keep drawing that hand up this time, all the way up towards the ceiling, rotating through your spine and pressing the mat away from you. Okay, let's try on the other side. Breathing in to prepare, breathing out, rotating through, sending that arm away from you, shoulder comes down, supporting arm bends, core muscles coming in. Breathing in, press that mat away from you, bring your arm up and float it up to the ceiling. Lovely for opening out the front of your chest, getting movement through that shoulder as well. Super, let's try a couple more times on each side. Remember, you can choose whichever level suits you best. And if this is too much, you don't even have to bring your shoulder all the way down to the floor. You can start small. Breathing out to post that hand through. Breathing in to draw all the way back and float the arm all the way up towards the ceiling. Great, one more time on each side. Sliding through. And inhale to press all the way back through. And post the arm all the way up towards the ceiling. Last one on this side now. I can already feel this through my upper arm, so I hope you can as well. And pressing all the way up. And bring that hand down, sit back on your heels once again and have a little bit of a rest. Okay, so we've got one last one on our hands and knees. Going to do a dynamic side twist prep, and again I'm going to show you a few variations so you can choose whichever one is best for you. So we can go into 4-point kneeling. So our first variation is just going to work on our core strength as well as support through our hips. We're just going to start with a simple leg slide. So find your neutral spine and pelvis. Make sure you're not dumping through your lumbar spine. So that's just when you're kind of collapsing. You're nicely engaged here, strong shoulders, strong core. So for this side dynamic side twist press level 1, bit of a tongue twister, all we're going to do is as you inhale, just slide one leg away from you, keeping your toe on the floor, fully extending through that leg, and draw it back in. Okay, and we can go on the other side. Inhaling to slide that leg away, exhaling to draw it back. Inhaling to slide, exhale to return. You're trying to keep your hips completely square to the floor in this exercise. So you can feel the hip muscles working, your core muscles working, especially around this hip that's moving. And you'll be working through your upper body and your shoulders as well. Okay, we're going to do one more on each side. This is our level 1. Really try and extend through that leg. It's easy to keep that knee bent. We're going to really try and press through that. Okay, so level 2. We're going to breathe in to slide that leg back. And then as we exhale, we're going to turn and bring the arm up towards the ceiling. Okay, so openness through the front of your chest. Really work on your balance and coordination here. And then inhale, circle your hand back round, rotate and return. You go on the other side, breathing in to slide back. Exhale to turn and bring the arm up towards the ceiling, reaching up towards the ceiling, pressing the mat away from you, and circle back on the in-breath. Okay, let's try that again on each side. Inhaling to slide away. Remember, you can stick with this if that's enough. And then turning and bring that arm up. Circling round, returning that leg. And again, sliding away. Whoa, try not to fall over. So really using your deep balance. And return back. And you can have a rest. Give those wrists a bit of a rest once more. Okay, so now we can go into our final level, which is adding a leg lift. Now you have to be quite strong for this one. And really think about where you are in the room as well. If there's any chance that you're going to fall over, make sure that you're not going to fall onto something. So just be safe, okay? So let's try again. So this time, you're going to breathe in to slide that leg away. Breathe out to rotate. And still breathing out, we're going to point through that toe and float it up to hip height. Inhale to bring that leg down. Simultaneously circle that hand back. And return to 4-point kneeling. Okay, let's go on the other side. So sliding that leg away. We're really working on our breathing coordination, alignment, core. Exhale, twist, float the arm up, still exhaling, point through that toe and float it up to hip height. Inhale and circle back through to 4-point kneeling. Excellent. One more time on each side. Inhale, slide that leg away. Exhale, rotate, open your hip towards the ceiling, open your chest towards the ceiling. Turn that head, watch your hands, and still breathing out, float that top leg up to hip height. Come back down. And last one, slide that leg away, rotate. And float up to hip height. Inhale to come back through. And sit back over your heels. And take some well-deserved breaths in and out here. Breathing in, and as you breathe out, try and relax everything, giving your wrists a rest as well. Fab. Okay, so next we're going to come onto our fronts. We're going to really work on extension through our spine now. So if you have a really lordotic spine, which means you've got a deep curve through your spine, it means that you automatically can bend a lot more through your lumbar spine. If you're like me and have a flatter back, you won't get as much bend through your spine, okay? So the amount to which you can raise it really does depend on the shape of your body. Also, if you are lordotic, so that means big, deep lumbar spinal curve, it's really easy to go straight into that because you find it really easy to bend through that. But I'd like you to really concentrate on trying to get that extension through your neck and through your cervical spine, which is the bottom of the neck, and the thoracic spine, which is the back of your rib cage. It's a lot harder to get the extension through there. So today we're going to use the band to give you a little bit of feedback about where you are. Remember, if you don't have a band, you can use a pair of tights. That's going to work just as well. So we're going to come onto our fronts now and set ourselves up for diamond press. So you're going to lie on your front with your legs extended behind you, hip distance apart, and your fingers and thumbs creating a diamond shape here. So elbows nice and wide, and your forehead is going to come down. So now, rather than just like laying and relaxing into the mat, we're going to bring our tummy muscles in so you're nicely supported. So you're going to breathe in here, and as you breathe out, start lifting your head, neck, and very top of the spine. Try not to go straight into your lumbar spine like that. And inhale to come down. So we're working on extension. Now this is going to be really fantastic for your posture. If you find yourself, because you've been working a lot from home, even if you've been gardening a lot, you can start to feel quite rounded through your spine, leaning forward with your shoulders coming together. This is going to be really lovely to help combat that and really strengthen the top of your spine. As well as that, it's going to help support your head on top of your spine. So if you think about it, your head's like 10 pounds heavy. And that's actually really heavy. Is it 10 pounds or 10 kilograms? Oh my gosh. I'm forgetting. I'll have to look that up for you. Okay, so our head's really heavy. And that's a lot of pressure to go down through your neck. So by doing this exercise, you're going to help strengthen the muscles that support your head. So ideally, this should lead to a lot fewer headaches and a lot less pain through your spine. Okay, good. We're going to do one more like this, breathing out to come up. And inhale to come down and rest here. Just letting your neck and your spine relax and rest. Next, we're going to add in a salute. So if this is your first time doing Pilates again, you can stick with this exercise until you get stronger and more familiar with the movements. Otherwise, we're going to add in a salute. So we've got our head down on the floor. As you breathe out, you'll bring your head up so that you're gazing down on the mat still. And still breathing out, you're going to see if you can bring both hands and elbows up from the floor to salute to your forehead. And then as you inhale, you're going to flex back down onto the floor. Let's try that again. Now breathe out, bring your head off the floor, still breathing out, float your arms up to meet your forehead, and inhale, lengthen back down on the floor. Good, so moving with our breath. Really lovely and smoothly, breathing out to come up, still breathing out, float those hands up, and inhale, lengthen down on the floor. Good, nice and slow. And just by adding in that lift of the arms, you're adding on load to your spine. It's going to really help strengthen those muscles, those spinal extensors. Good, and one last one here, breathing out and out. And inhale to rest down and take a few breaths here. Okay, so again, you can stick with that, or we're going to try and do a little bit of an arm extension. So I'll show you sitting up first of all. The movement is we come off the floor just like before, bring your arms up to meet your forehead, and then as you inhale, you're going to extend your arms as if you're making a Y shape. Bring your hands back down and return down to the mat. So we'll show you one more time. You're breathing out to lift up and lift your arms. And then as you inhale, you're extending your arms into a Y. Then as you breathe out, bend your elbows and return down to the floor. Okay, so let's try that again. Remember, you're still supporting your spine with your core muscles. So you're not just relaxing into the mat. You've got some activity going on through your core. So let's breathe in to prepare. Breathing out to lift up. Still breathing out, lift those arms. Inhale, extend your hands to make a Y. Exhale to bend your elbows, fingers back to forehead, and lengthen back down. Super, let's go again. Breathing out and out. Sorry, in, out and down. If this is too much, drop down to one of the previous levels. It's completely up to you. And you should find that those muscles in your spine are really working hard to support you, especially when you add in those long levers when you make that Y shape. So this is all going to be fantastic for strengthening your spine, opening out your posture as well, and supporting your head. Keep your gaze going down towards the floor, and remember to keep your jaw relaxed and not tensed. We'll do one more after this one. Inhale to come back down and rest here on the floor. Super. Okay, so now we're going to add in some leg movements as well. So we're going to bring our toes together and take our heels out to the sides. So you've got something called internal rotation of your thighs in your hips. So you can start with your feet and legs together, and then just let your heels come out. You should feel that your thighs are rotating inwardly. So now we're going to start with our legs. So place your head back on your hands, elbows wide to the side, and we're just going to work on our legs. So breathing in to prepare. And as you breathe out, I'd like you to draw your heels together and just float your legs off the floor by an inch. You should feel these glute muscles in the back of your thighs really switch on. And inhale to relax. Let's go again. Breathing out. Bring your legs up, pointing through your toes, extending through your legs. And relax back down. Super. We're going to do one more like this, and then we're going to practice through our arms. So really feel your glute muscles, back of legs switch on. It's going to be really fantastic for the health of your hips. So now we're going to work into our arms. So if you have a little cushion available, just pop it underneath your head, just to support your forehead whilst we practice our arms. You're going to leave our legs where they are, and then take your arms down by your sides with your palms facing up. You might feel that your shoulders are just coming down towards the mat, and that's absolutely fine. Just going to work on the strength and open them out. So this time, we're going to do the same with our arms that we did for our legs. And as we breathe out, we're going to turn our arms so that our palms come towards our thighs and rotate and lift off through the front of your spine, okay? So you're lifting your head and neck and very top of the spine off the mat as you bring your hands towards your thighs. And inhale, come back. So again, you're rotating your upper arms in your shoulder joint. Breathing out, rotating, palms coming in towards your thighs, reaching your fingers towards your toes, lifting up through the top of your spine. And inhale to come down. Good, we'll practice this 2 more times. Breathing out to lift all the way up. And inhale to return down. Last one. So you should already feel that these muscles in the very top of your spine are switching on to support you here. And coming back down. Okay, let's take a couple of breaths rest here. Again, you can choose which level because we're going to put these exercises together. So again, if it suits you, you can just practice with the legs and then practice with your upper body. Or you can put them together like I'm going to do. Okay, so you can move your cushion out of the way. Place your forehead down on the floor. Now, if you are very rounded through your spine, or if you're really, you just need a bit of extra support, you can keep that cushion there. It's up to you, whatever suits you best. So head coming down, heels apart, palms facing it towards the ceiling, shoulders relaxed, breathing in here. Breathe out, simultaneously draw your heels together, squeeze your glutes and lift up, toes going towards your fingers. This is start. Inhale to come down. Good, let's go again. Breathing out, draw your heels together, turn your arms, fingers going towards your toes, lifting up, feel that strength through the top of your spine. Inhale to come down. Breathing out, lifting up once again. We're going to try and do 6 overall. Remember, you can take a rest whenever you need it. And come down once again. And our final couple here. Breathing out, squeeze everything together. Inhale to come down. And one final one, breathing out. And inhale to relax back down. Bring your hands underneath your forehead And take a few deep breaths in and out here to relax. Good. Okay, so we're just going to do a bit more extension. So we don't usually do this much on our fronts, but it's really nice to get that strength through our spine here. So we're going to do a cobra prep using the bands. So this time we are going to wrap the bands around our upper back now. So a little bit higher than when we do cat. And then bring it right underneath your armpits. So really wrapped around your upper spine here. We're going to come down onto our fronts and lie here. Trap the band between your hands, and your hands are going to be level with your forehead. Your elbows are down, as it's like you're forming a bit of a cactus shape through the top of your body. We're going to take our legs hip distance apart, and take them slightly further apart than that, and then turn them so your toes are pointing out and your heels are in. So this time we've got external rotation of the thighs in the hips. Okay, so we're going to do a cobra prep with the band. So you're going to breathe in here, and then as you breathe out, push your nose away from you, and then start lifting up through your spine. You should feel like you're pressing into the band. Holding here and inhaling to come down. Now, if you didn't feel any resistance, just make that band a little bit tighter. So the band is going to help, both to help us know where we are in space, and also to give us a bit more resistance, so it's even more strengthening for your spine. Breathing in here, breathing out, press your nose away, lifting up. So make sure you're not overextending your neck, so your gaze should still be going down. Inhale to come back down. Going again, breathing out, pressing your nose away, lifting all the way up, inhaling to come down. Nice. Okay, let's do 2 more like this. Pressing into the bands and inhaling to come down. It's quite a subtle movement, but the band is really going to help with the resistance of it. And come down. Okay, so again, you can stick with this, or we're going to add in a single leg lift. So we're just playing with our coordination now. So this time we're going to breathe in, then breathe out, press your nose away. Pause here for the in-breath in that extended spine. Then as you exhale, you're going to lift one leg up, lower down, still exhaling. Lift the other leg up, lower down, and inhale, lengthen back down onto the floor. So we're adding on hip extension now, getting the backs of our legs and our glute muscles working. Let's go again, breathing in, breathing up, press your nose away, lift all the way up. Exhale, lift one leg up, lower down, still exhaling, lift the other leg up, lower down, inhale, return all the way back down. 2 more like this. Breathing up, press away, lifting all the way up. Bring that leg up, lower down, feel the back of your leg and your glutes switch on. Lengthen down, and we've got 1 more. Breathing in, breathing out, pressing away. Lift and lower, lift and lower, lengthen all the way back down. Super. Okay, so we're going to leave our legs there, and then adjust the position of your hands. So you bring them ever so slightly higher than your forehead now. Make a little bit more slack in the band, because we're going to go into a full cobra. Now remember, you can stick with that cobra prep if you need to. Breathing in, breathing out, press that nose away, lifting all the way up. And extending through your arms. So you should really feel yourself pressing into that band. Breastbone going forward, holding here, and then exhale, lengthen back down onto the floor, 1 bone at a time, and tuck your nose back under. Good. Let's try that again. Breathing out, pushing that nose away. Remember, we're lifting up 1 bone at a time. So it's a really lovely sequential movement. Pressing into the band, holding here, lovely extension through your spine. And lengthen back down 1 bone at a time. And we've got 2 more to go. Lifting all the way up. Breastbone going forward. Inhale to come down. And our final one. And lengthen back down onto the floor one more time, resisting the pull of that band. Pop the band to one side, and I'm going to press through and come really carefully into our rest position. So pressing your bottom back over your heels and bring your head down onto the floor or stacking it on cushions or on your fists. And taking a few breaths here. So breathing in, really expanding your lumbar spine, and breathing out to relax. Super. Okay, so sitting yourself up nice and carefully, and we're going to come onto our sides. This time you need your cushion because we're going to do some side lying work. So we're going to set ourselves up with our lower arm extended along the floor, your cushions between your head and your arm, your hips in line with your shoulders and your heels in line with your hips. It's like you're in a long line along your spine. Okay, try not to let your head come forward. Try to keep your gaze going forward so that your spine and your neck are stacked. Your top hand is going to come down onto the floor in front of you. You're just going to bring your lower waist up from the floor. So rather than slumping down into the mat, you're just going to try and engage your core muscles. So your hips are balanced, your heels are balanced, your knees are stacked, your shoulders are stacked. We do a lovely oyster here, okay? So we're going to breathe in. And as we breathe out, we're going to keep our heels together and lift that top knee up without rocking back through your spine, okay? Inhale to come down. So check that you're not rolling back through your pelvis. If you're working out with somebody else, you can get them to check for you. It's really easy just to rock back because you think you can raise that leg higher, but actually all you're doing is rotating through your spine rather than getting that hip movement. If you have hip problems, be careful with this exercise. So we're going to breathe out, bring that hip up. Inhale, come down. Now, if you want to, you can place that hand on the hip just to give you some feedback so you know you're not moving your pelvis. And you should be able to feel this through the side of your leg right into your glute. It's lovely to get this rotation through your hip. Coming down once again, lovely. And going a few more times. Super. Breathing out to lift all the way up. And inhale to come down. And again, breathing out. And in. Fab. One more time. Breathing out. And in. Super. So now we're going to extend both legs so that they're in line with our spine. And we can keep that top hand either on the floor or, for more of a challenge, place it long along your legs. So you're balanced on the side of your body now. We're going to do a torpedo one. So we're just going to start with that leg lift. So breathing in here, keep these core muscles coming in. Think about tummy button coming towards your spine. As you breathe out, float that leg up to hip height. Inhale to lower down. Lovely. This time we're working on the strength of our hip, going right into our pelvic floor. And the muscles that support your hip are also going to feed into those muscles that support your lumbar spine. So it's a lovely one to strengthen our spines, reduce any aches and pains. Good. Lifting up and lower down. We've got two more like this. I can already feel my glute muscles switching on. And one more. Good. Okay, so now I'm going to turn it into a torpedo 2 because we're going to breathe out. Still breathing out. Lift that lower leg. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Inhale to lengthen down. Okay, so we're going to try and keep that top of our body as still as possible. Breathing out and inhale. Super. Okay, going again. Breathing out and inhale. Really trying to balance on the side of your body here. Remember, you can use that top hand on the floor if you need a bit of extra support. Fab. Okay, so next exercise, we're going to try and do both legs together. Remember, you can stick with any of the previous ones, but this time I'm going to breathe out, see if we raise both legs together. Inhale to lower down. Okay, good. So squeezing your legs together, really control here. These torso muscles are working super hard to keep you straight and also to support your legs. These are the long levers. And this muscle Around here is working to support them. Okay, we've got 2 more like this. Breathing out and in, making the movement as smooth as possible, really lengthening through your legs. Fab. Okay. Now you can either stick with that, or for an extra challenge, you can bring that top arm up and over and see if you can do the same again. Okay. So breathing out, lift those legs up. Inhale to return. So now your spine is working hard again to support this top arm. Remember, listen to your body. If you know this isn't good for your shoulders, don't worry. You can stick with a lower exercise level. Breathing out and in. It's actually quite hard. Breathing out and in. I'm going to do one last time here. Breathing out and in. Float that arm back over and bring your knees up and take a few breaths. Rest here. Breathing in and out. Good. A couple more breaths here. Super. Okay, so now we're going to place those cushions directly on the floor and move into some chalk circles and arm openings. So we're going to bring our legs up and stack them so that they are at 90 degrees. So you've got your knees together, your hips together. You've got 90 degrees between your knees, okay? So your head goes down on your cushions and your hands are sandwiched together in front of you. You're going to bring your lower spine off the floor, toe muscles coming in, and we're going to go into an arm opening first of all. So we'll breathe in here, and as you breathe out, just push that top hand forward ever so slightly, and still breathing out, start lifting it up towards the ceiling. Turning your head towards your hand as you go, and then you're going to open it back to behind you, keeping your arm nice and long. I've got a wall behind me, so I can't do it quite right. So you're opening through the front of your spine, okay? And then as you inhale, reach all the way back up and over. Okay, so we're going to go again. So hands together, breathing in, breathing out, press that top hand forward. And then still breathing out, start raising it up towards the ceiling, turning your head as you go. Focus on rotation through your spine and take that hand behind you as far towards the floor as you can. Your hips are still facing forwards. You're rotating through your spine. Then as you inhale, you're lifting that hand all the way back up and over. So we're getting gorgeous rotation through our spine. Really nice to keep it healthy, but also it should feel lovely across the front of your chest because you're getting that lovely openness. Reach back up and over. Now you might not be able to get that top arm all the way towards the floor. Just listen to whatever suits you best. Breathing out, lifting up and over. Really nice and smooth. And inhale to reach that hand back up and down. Lovely. We've got one last one like this. Reaching all the way up and back. And inhale all the way back up and over. Super. Okay, so I'm going to turn this into a chalk circle now. Like to imagine that you've got a piece of chalk in that top hand. You're going to draw a massive circle around you. So arms are together once again. Breathing in to prepare, and as you breathe out, start drawing that circle around you. Reaching through your arm. Okay, so again, listen to your body. If you've got shoulder issues, just do what you can. Don't try to force through any pain. And then circle that arm over your thigh, back through to the start. Really nice. So you're getting rotation through your spine, as well as that gorgeous movement through your shoulder. So you're really lovely and strengthening through your shoulder, as well as helping to open out the front of your chest. So it's gorgeous for your posture. Really nice to counterbalance all of those hours spent at the desk, or leaning forward, guarding and baking, reading, sewing, whatever you like to do. Doing jigsaws is going to really help as well. So keep your hips facing forward as you rotate through. Good. Okay, now we're going to go the opposite way. So as you breathe out, take your hand over your thigh, start rotating through your spine, reach all the way around you. It might feel different in one direction from the other. Reaching around all the way back through. Good. 2 more like this. Reaching all the way around. And our last one. You can already feel some difference in that shoulder. Really nice to open it out. And bring your hands back together. So carefully, we're going to move over onto our other side to do exactly the same. So setting yourself up for oyster, first of all. So this time your heels are together, your knees are together, hips stacked, heels in line with your hips. Lower arm, extend along the floor and your head resting on your cushions. Top hand on the floor or on your hips to give you a bit of feedback. Tummy muscles coming in and spine is supported by your core. You're going to breathe in here. And as you breathe out, we're going to lift that top leg up. Making sure you're not rocking back through your hips. And lower down. Good. Let's go again. Breathing out. And in. Lovely. Good. We'll do a few more here. Breathing out. Try to keep that top shoulder stacked on top of the other shoulder. It's really easy to let it start rocking forward. We're going to keep nice and strong through there. And actually it can help to place your hand on your hip with that and keep your elbow going up towards the ceiling. Breathing out and in. Lovely. 2 more. Out and in. Good. Okay, so now we're going to alter our position. So we're going to place that hand back on the floor. Extend your legs so that they're together, and we're going to go into that torpedo series. So make sure everything is nicely stacked. You're balancing on the side of your body. You can keep your hand on the floor in front of you or place it long along your leg. And as you breathe out, we're going to lift that top leg up to hip height and inhale to lower down. So you get that lovely, strong movement through your hips here. Inhale to come down. Going again, breathing out to lift up. Inhale to come down. And again, you might find it easier on one side than the other. Breathing out and in. Super. 2 more times. And one last time. Good. And bring that leg down. Okay, so now we're going to move into our torpedo 2. So you're going to bring one leg up and then the other. So breathing in and out, lift up and out to bring that leg up. I'm really struggling to balance on this side today. Okay, let's go again. Breathing out and in to return. I'm going to place my hand on the floor now. Breathing out and inhale. So again, like me, you might find it easier to balance on one side than the other, and that's completely normal. Lovely. So just think about how strong your spine and your hips are working now, because they're supporting the long levers that are your legs. Good. We're going to go 2 more times. And one more. Breathing out and in. Super. Okay, so let's see if we can do both legs together now. So breathing in and out to lift, in to lower. Good. Okay, going again. Breathing out and in, out and in. Good. 2 more times here. And our final one. Good. Resting here. Now, this is where it's going to get tricky because you're going to bring that top arm up and over. If you want to, this is purely optional. I'm going to see if you can do exactly the same. So keeping your arm up over your head. Breathing out to lift your legs up. Inhale to return down. If this is too much, just try one of the variations before. And remember, you can always rest if you need to. Good. 2 more here. And our final one. All the way up and lower back down. Bring that hand back over. And rest here. Super. Okay, so we're going to fold our legs up so that they are at 90 degrees. Place that cushion on the floor. So now your head is resting on both cushions. And bring your hands out in front of you, sandwiched together. We're going to go straight into that lovely arm opening to open out the front of our chest and get rotation through our spine. So our knees and feet and hips remain stacked. There's no movement through our pelvis. So breathing in and breathing out, push that top hand forward. And then start lifting that top hand up towards the ceiling, turning your head as you go and opening it towards the back of the room. Inhale to come all the way back up and over. So let's try going again. So breathing in here, breathing out, lifting all the way up, reaching through those fingers as you open your arm out behind you. Inhale to come back up and over. Really reach through those fingers, trying to get lots of movement through that joint. Really enjoy the openness through the front of your chest and that rotation through your spine. So keep your hips facing forward. Just think about rotating through your spine here. And one more time. Reaching up and over. Good. Okay, so let's turn this into a chalk circle now. So again, thinking about that lovely big circle and movement through your shoulders. We're going to breathe in, and as you breathe out, just start circling around here. I completely forgot to do something. Did I do oyster on this side? I think I did. Good. And circling around. Reaching through your fingers once again, turning your head towards your hand. Remember, listen to your body. So if this isn't great for your shoulder, if you've got any issues going on there, just do what you can. Try not to push through any pain. Keep your shoulders open and your hips facing forward. Good. One more time in this direction. Good. Bring your hands back together. And then we're going to go the other way. So reaching through your fingers, circling around, all the way up and over. Reaching through. Just one breath with each movement. It should feel really lovely to open at the front of your shoulder. Strengthening through the back of your spine and opening up your chest. Final one like this. Good. And bring your hands back together. And just rest here for a few breaths. Okay. So now we're going to come onto our back. So just adjust yourself and bring yourself so that you're lying on your back with your head supported by your cushions. Arms down by your sides. I'm going to find that neutral spine and pelvis. So our feet and knees are hip distance apart. Feet flat on the mat. Weight going down through the back of our head, the back of our rib cage, and the back of our pelvis. Hands flat on the floor. We're going to do some lovely pelvic tilts here. So as we breathe out, we're just going to rock back to imprint our lumbar spine. And inhale to arch away ever so slightly. Good, and we'll do a couple more here. Imprinting, arching away, and one more time. Imprinting here, and arching away, and coming to settle somewhere halfway in between. You're going to come into a lovely starfish, so we're going to breathe in, and as you breathe out, keep your torso still, as you slide one foot away from you, and draw the other hand up towards the ceiling and back behind you again, listening to your body, reaching through that leg, reaching through your arm, keeping your spine and core muscles completely still. Inhale to come back. Okay, so you're going to have to use your core responsively here. So as you slide away, you should feel these muscles surrounding your tummy and your lumbar spine switch on to keep your torso still. We're making sure that we're not arching through our lumbar spine. Okay, let's go a few more times. Reaching out. Lovely. Inhale to come back through. We're going to do a few more times on each side. Really smoothly moving. Lots of length through from the tips of your fingers to the tips of your toes. One more time on each side. Good. And last one. And coming back. Super. Okay, so let's bring our knees and feet together. Take our arms slightly wider. We're going to go into a lovely hip roll. So you're going to keep your spine in neutral, breathing in. As you breathe out, take your legs over to one side. Keep the opposite shoulder down. Enjoy this rotation through your spine. Keep your gaze going towards the ceiling. And inhale to come back through. Really nice twist through your waist. Great for getting your internal organs activated. That makes sense. You're basically increasing the blood flow to them by doing this lovely twist. Let that top foot peel off the floor. If you want more of a challenge, you can reach your hands up into the sky, balanced over your shoulders. Inhale to come back. Lovely. One more time to each side. Coming back through to center. Last one here, going over to the side. Inhaling, come back through to center. Stretch your hands away from you behind you. Stretch your feet away. And we're going to come into a lovely full body stretch here, reaching through your fingers, reaching through your toes. Couple of breaths here. Bring your hands back down, legs, walk them back one at a time, roll onto your side, and press yourself up through to your seated position. We're just going to raise our arms up in the air, stretch over to one side again, get that lovely lateral flexion through your waist, back through to center, over to the other side. Bring your hands down and give yourself a nice clap. Well done. Thank you so much for joining me today for Pilates. I hope you really enjoyed it. As usual, let me know how you get on. And I'm going to be back on Thursday morning at 9:30. So if you'd like to join me then, please let me know. Otherwise, have a great week and weekend, and I'll see you next Monday. Bye.